I'm Charlotte McLeod with the Investing News Network, and here today with me is Paul Westsells, President and CEO at Western Copper and Gold. Thanks so much for being here today.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Great, so let's jump right in. Let's start by talking about some of your recent news. You've had an acquisition that you just wrapped up. What can you tell me about that?
Sure, yeah. So we acquired the Canadian Creek property from Caribou Rose. We've really had our eye on this property for a long time, and things just finally came together, and we had the opportunity to purchase it. But we like it because it's actually directly to the west of our pit, and if you look at what they have there, there's a lot of gold on that area right next to the west of our pit. You talk to our geologists, they say that's the rest of our deposit, and we've known that it's there. We still had obviously the big part of the deposit on our land, but we had the little bit of it sort of slide over onto that other package. So we're really happy to have it for that reason. And in addition to that, there's another porphyry target there at the Anna Zone, and then there's a bunch of little targets that look a lot like what. I guess Newmont now has at the Coffee Project, which are these sort of smaller gold deposits that can add into the overall mix. So yeah, we're pretty excited about it, and we were able to do a little bit of drilling. We sort of got it near the end of our drilling campaign, but we were able to do a little bit of drilling on that new project as well.
Are those results out yet, or we're waiting to see those results?
Yeah, we're waiting to see the results. Our drilling campaign finished up about 10 days ago, and they're still actually cutting core. I think actually as we speak, they're trying to get the last little bit out, but we expect that we'll have all the assay results available in about a month's time, so sort of, let's say, early part of October.
Sure, okay, that'll be something to look forward to. And just to get a little bit better understanding of it, it's between your property and the Coffee Project.
Yeah, that's right. Our project is there's sort of the Coffee Project, which is a pretty big claim block, and then our project, which is sort of next to that and a little bit lower, and this is sort of in between the two of them. So it also provides a little bit more land that sort of help connect us to the Coffee Project, and that gets important when we look at the future and the potential roads and the road alignments that might happen through that area, and now we have the claims underneath where those roads would go.
So you've got your drill results coming up. What other catalysts should investors be looking for from you as we head into the rest of the year?
Yeah, that's going to be the big one. Is the drill results that they're going to be here in like I said, the first part of October. We'll then go into an updated resource, and I actually think that's going to be the real excitement. At least I'm quite excited about that. Right now, over all categories, we've got 18 million ounces of gold and 10 billion pounds of copper, with about half of that, in the measured and indicated categories. So that's going to increase by our infill drilling. And then, the fact that we were able to do some of the step-out drilling on this new target, and then also a target to the north of us, should add some additional ounces and pounds of copper as well. So I'm pretty excited about that, which will be near the end of the year.
And for you, is your goal with this project to make it attractive to a potential buyer? Is that what you're aiming to do there?
Yeah, this is a large project, very, very big. And the capital cost right now is projected at $2.5 billion, which, there's ways for junior mining companies to move a project like that forward, but it's pretty challenging. So we've always sort of said, we would look to bring in a partner at the right time or potentially sell it. And with gold doing what it's doing right now, we've certainly seen a lot of interest out of the gold sector. And last year when copper was good, we had good interest out of the copper sector. So we'll see where it goes. But getting excited about this in the past, it's really just continuing to move the project forward, and at the right time, I think something will come together in terms of an M&A.
Yeah, I was going to ask you your thoughts on the current gold price environment. We're at the Precious Metals Summit right now, and
Yes.
I think there's quite an air of excitement about it. How do you feel?
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. I mean, it's been a few years since you go into these meetings and there's people that want to give you money. They're like, oh, this is great. Let me know when you're going to raise money. We want to invest, and it's certainly been a long time in the mining sector since you've had that sort of across the board. And yeah, I mean, I think $1,500 gold is very exciting for everybody. The thing actually that I found quite interesting is that there's a couple of the funds that we met with that were more interested in our copper than our gold, and these are mining funds, and they sort of said, look, gold's had a good run. We've made a lot of money on those equities. We're selling them and moving into some of the copper ones. It's the safer bet. Gold may still run up, but copper, it's definitely going to run up. I mean, it's been beaten up here over the last little while, and once some of these pressures come off, I mean, it's going to pop up. So.
Yeah, it's had a hard time, I think, with all the trade war things going on, but even at this event, I had somebody tell me copper's their favorite right now. Is your optimism coming from the demand side, or where does it come from? Some people talk about the green potential.
Yeah, I mean, if you, I mean, the thing is like why? I mean, copper was at $3, hit $3.20, and it was going to $4, and then the trade war with China sort of initiated, and it pulled back, as low as $2.50. So that's the only reason. That's the only thing that has caused the pullback. Whereas if you look at the fundamentals, I mean, it's really very simple. I mean, over the past decade now, you've had very, very low copper prices and too low to build any new copper mines. So you've had 10 years where there really hasn't been any significant new copper mines come online. The only one has been Cobre Panama. And so all of a sudden you need to play catch up with that. And I mean, you're going to see copper prices go up, I think, quite significantly over the next little while. And, we were talking to people that I was talking to someone fairly well versed in it, and we were like, is it 6 months? Is it a year? It remains to be seen. But that's the sort of timeline that I think you're going to start to see this come back. And, and that, combined with gold, gold at $1,500 feels like a very, very good spot. I think that there's certainly, opportunity for it to go. I'm not one of those $2,000 gold guys, but I'm certainly a $1,600 gold guy, and I think we could start to see that happen here as well. So it works anyhow. All that saying, with 18 million ounces of gold and 10 billion pounds of copper, everything's moving in the right direction for us.
That's good. And do you see investor interest picking up in the space? I've been talking to people about that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, both this, and then we're off to the Denver Gold Show next week. A lot of meetings, a lot of interest, a lot of funds that we haven't seen in a long time coming back in. So yeah, I mean, I think it's exciting, and that we're starting to see this interest in the sector.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much. Once again, I'm Charlotte McLeod with the Investing News Network, and this is Paul Westels with Western Copper and Gold.